keeps us strong. Strong. Gin and juice got that open mind. Hearts connect at 10:30. Every Saturday once again. Laughter's bright and tears are real. Nothing here we gotta conceal. Safe.
See those juice boxes, y'all?
Flip the script, turn the page. Red room talk, it's where we'll be. Sharing dreams and memories. Laugh and cry all night long. Gin and juice keeps us strong. No topics too wild, too taboo. In this space, we break right through. With every word, a bond we form. Warm like the sun after a storm. So take a seat, join the chatter. In this place, nothing else matters. Feel the vibe and let it flow. In the red room, love will grow. Red room talk, it's where we'll be. Sharing dreams and memories. Laugh and cry all night long. Gin and juice keeps us strong.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Red Room Talk. You guys can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, Jen. The Red Room Talk is a show about love, intimacy, and interpersonal relationships, including self, to erase different social stigmas. We are here to have candid discussions and cut through those stigmas to show that in the end, no matter your background, we all have commonalities when it comes to matters of the mind and the heart. Nothing is off the table in the Red Room Talk. Last episode, if you missed us, that's okay. You can find us on YouTube by clicking that link in my profile and subscribing. Last episode, we talked about defining beauty, but this week we're going to discuss issues in the dating with this week's topic, dating roadblocks. We have an all-star cast. We have my co-host, DJ CJ Slabgod. We have Green Eyes, and we have Top Bad Really Rebecca. Let's find out how the panel feels about the roadblocks between you and love. Before we get started, all that I ask is you keep your mind open and your language clean. First things first, I'm going to let you guys in the box, and then we will get started. Okay, here we go. Hi, everybody!
Hello.
I love y'all. Welcome to the Red Room, or welcome back to the Red Room, all of y'all, I should say, because we got some OGs here in the house. But of course, we are polite here in the Red Room, so go ahead and I'll let the ladies start and introduce themselves, and then we'll move on to my big-headed co-host.
Well, go ahead, Green Eye. Go ahead.
Okay, well, my name is Green Eyes. I usually stream late nights sometimes. Pretty much, if you don't see me live, I'm pretty much in Jen and Juice's live most of the time. So catch me there. If you don't see me live, I'm here.
Okay. All right, Miss Really Rebecca.
Alright, and salute to everybody in here. I'm your girl, Really Rebecca. I host Secret Sweetheart every
Remember,
Thursday.
Empress Really Rebecca, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Mua hands in a heart shape with medium skin tone.
And make sure y'all stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I plugged it up ahead of time, so yeah. But anyway, besides my phone telling me to stay ready, I host Secret Sweetheart every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come check me out.
Go ahead, CJ.
My turn. Name is CJ. Of course, I DJ. No pun intended. You can catch me every now and then, live, occasionally. Not as much as I used to, but if you need a DJ and Jen sends you to me, then I know you good people. So I'm here. Yeah.
Well, I am Jen. I am the host of this show right here, right now, every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys don't catch me here on Saturdays, we have a new night coming to y'all every Tuesday and Sunday. We're going to start game nights. I figure we'll bring a little fun to tag, so make sure y'all tap in. We're not starting this Sunday. Maybe we'll play a little this Sunday, just, improv-ish. But every Tuesday and Sunday, I'm thinking we're going to do it at 10 p.m., so make sure y'all tap in starting on Tuesdays. I figure we need some fun, fun in the atmosphere. But I also have some new content that'll be coming on the way, with Miss Lotta Vibes, so make sure y'all start tapping in and check out the Instagram and see what's coming soon. But if it's not then you can catch me very, 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 very late nights into early mornings, probably playing Fortnite. But anyways, why can't I find love? We all want to love and be loved. It's amazing to feel a real lasting connection with another person. To be lucky enough to find that someone who makes our hearts race, someone we can actually settle down with for the long haul, but the road to love can be bumpy. Hopefully not in the bedroom. With some serious twists and turns, if we're not careful, we can lose control or worse, hit a roadblock that completely stops the relationships in its tracks. Best advice, avoid these roadblocks which are keeping you from love. Communication is key to finding commonalities, so I want to know, 1, are you a good communicator, and what do you find it hard to talk about?
What order we gonna go in?
We'll go ahead and start with Really Rebecca, and then the next question we'll start with Green Eyes. How about we do that?
Okay. All right. As far as me, I do feel like I am a good communicator. I feel like over time I've learned to be a more effective communicator. Because it's a difference between communicating good and being effective with your communication. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very, blunt about things, so I don't have a problem with, sharing my thoughts and opinions about things. I can also, make sure that I can buffer them as well too. But sometimes you need to know when to hold and when to fold so that you can actually effectively communicate with somebody. Period. So I feel like it's very important, because if not, then it could lead to a lot of heartache. It could lead to a lot of heartache within that relationship for no reason at all. And for me, the name of my game is no toxicity. So yeah. I feel like I'm pretty good with it. Continuously working on it.
That's real.
Mine is like a work in progress. Really not a good communicator. When it comes to expressing myself or my feelings, I shut down very quick. So I don't really express what I'm going through. If I start to express how I'm feeling, I get upset, and then my anxiety kicks in. So that's my issue, and what's stopping me from going into a new relationship. So I'm still working on that. But I mean, like I said, it's a work in progress. So I mean, that's the only way to actually build a relationship with somebody, and have good communication, between each other, and your relationship would be much better with communication in it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I would have to say mine is still a work in progress as well. I'm a little bit on both sides. Sometimes I'm very communicative, and then sometimes I'm not. Uh, I can share things that I feel that need to be shared or talked about, but then at the same time, when I feel like if it's something internally within myself that I personally am going through, I won't really communicate it. And then you can ask Jen. I have facial expressions for everything. So anytime I hear something or think of something, you can definitely tell what's on your mind. My mom used to tell me that all the time. She was like, I can read you without you having to say a word. So that's one of the things that I'm still working on. But communication is most definitely has to be a part of it. I think that's why it's so important for us to like interact with others as well, because that helps us be able to communicate. So if we're able to communicate with people that we don't necessarily have relationships with, then we're able to discern and be able to use that discernment of how to talk to a partner when that time comes.
I always be forgetting I gotta answer the questions too, you know. But yeah, I think in some ways I'm a phenomenal communicator. However, with that being said, if I ever feel like when I come to you, because yes, I'm a very great communicator. But if I ever feel as if that me coming to you is an issue, or I feel like I can't express to you, that's where the shutdown comes in. Especially if I've expressed it in so many ways, or I've had to crash out because I keep expressing the same thing. That's where I'm just going to quit talking to you altogether. And once I stop talking, because I'm going to tell you, I love to talk. If you can't tell, I'm right here on the Red Room talking to me Saturday. But if you can't tell that I love to talk, you know, for me, if I don't come to you, there's an issue. If I stop talking to you, you should really be worried. Because for me, when I'm trying to come to you, I'm telling you something. It's not to hurt your feelings but if something is hurting me, that should hurt you. You know, if there's something that I'm openly expressing to you, and I think even something I had to learn on both ends of it. Now is the time for you not to express your grievances with me, and this is something even for me. There's times I'm like, but no, it's not about me right now. It's about what they're expressing at that moment, because I obviously had my time, but there obviously was some. Like I said, at some point, I'll come to you with something, especially if I feel it's something that's detrimental to me. Because most of the time, if it's something that's minuscule, I might, let it be under the rug for a moment. Unless it's something, okay, now I see it's a pattern. That I'm going to have to be like, okay, look, I don't want to tell you this, but this is something that's bothering me. And, I'll come to you. But when you make me feel like I'm not safe to come to you, or I can't just openly express myself, that's where the silence, or like Green Eyes, the anxiety comes behind expressing myself. Because for me, having been in a relationship several times where I couldn't just openly express myself, I couldn't just openly, tell what I needed to tell, and it became that toxic thing where it's like I was needing connection while they was needing distance, because they was needing distance. So for me, like, I am going to come to you first. But when I start to feel that unsafe feeling, that's where the disconnect comes. And there's something I work on. And I seen earlier that, Roger had asked the question, you're fine. But Roger had asked the question, what are you doing if you're not in a relationship? What do you say? How are you working on it while not being in a relationship? I'm going to be honest, for me, it's therapy. And it might be different for, someone else, but for me, it's therapy, because when you're speaking to a therapist, they're going to ask you how you come to that conclusion. And I'm a very self-aware person, so I'll tell you how I got to that conclusion. So for me, like, I'm going to express first, but then once I start to get that fight or flight feeling, that's where I have to start questioning the deeper things in me of why I feel that way. It's because there's somewhere in me where it's triggered that unsafe feeling. And communicators hearing what isn't said. Yep. Does anybody have anything else to say?
To say?
No? Okay.
No, I don't.
Well, if y'all are just pulling up, that's okay. We have so much more to come. You can find us here every Saturday on the Red Room Talk at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We just discussed, are you a good communicator? What do you find it hard to talk about? But now I want to dig a bit deeper. It's easy to get lost in a superficial checklist of qualities you look for in a partner. But remember, you are not buying a car. A hot body, a shiny good looks only take you so far. If you can't find love, then stop stressing about the things that don't really matter. So far, you have only dated blondes because you have a thing for Brad Pitt or guys taller than you in heels. How far has that gotten you? Physical attraction is important, but did you ever notice how a guy gets more or less appealing the more you get to know him? The hunky man who treats you poorly can quickly drop to a zero, while the sweet man who makes you laugh can suddenly rev your engine. Don't get stuck on a checklist. Instead, open yourself to new possibilities and see where it takes you. Have you ever dated an older man? Tried dating a younger guy? How about a guy that loves motorcycles? The happiest relationships share fundamental values, compatible interests, and travel deeper than what is on the surface. Two people coming together into a union can wreak havoc and cause issues if the communication isn't there or you aren't equally yoked. With that, I want to know, how do you deal with issues when they arise? How do you deal with issues when they arise?
Who won't go first? I think it's
Me,
great.
I just walk away. That's my thing. I think that's a bad thing. Yes, just walk away. You know, it doesn't make anything better. Just walking away or yelling, getting defensive. I mean, but my main thing is just me walking away. When things start to arise, I just walk away.
Sometimes it's best to do that. Seriously.
Yeah, before I start yelling, the best way is just walk away, take a breather, and then come back in and then talk about it.
Sure.
I don't know. For me, I guess, you know, when things arise, I just try to assess the situation. You know what I mean? Because depending upon the person, you know, respectfully, some people, they don't deal well with walking away. You get what I'm saying? So some people you walk away from and then they feel like, you know, you completely shut them out. You completely ignored their thoughts, their feelings, the things that they have going on. Some people, if you stay around, then they feel like you're festering their thoughts, their feelings, the things they have going on. So I just feel like you have to assess the situation. Even if somebody acts a certain way on a regular basis, you can never think that you can just automatically determine somebody's like dispositions and demeanors and what they're going to do in that moment. Because the thing about it is, it's like, even though we all are in tandem with each other, we're on our own journeys. You know what I mean? So everybody's going to do and think and deal with things different. So I just try to assess the situation. I'll try to talk to somebody about what's going on. If that's not working at the time for them or for me, then yeah, I may back for a second. But I'm not gonna. It's like it just depends. I feel like it depends on the situation. It depends on the people. If I know that it's somebody that I can have that communication with, that no matter if they're frustrated, I'm frustrated, we can still hash it out and talk it out. Then we'll just kind of, you know, dance back and forth as needed to make it work. You know what I mean? But if I know it's somebody that as soon as I say something to them, they're going to shut down, they're going to just go off and do their own little thing, even though that pisses me off because I'm the type of person that I want you to go ahead and talk it out. Like, tell me what the issue is, what's the situation, what we're going to do to resolve it. Because I don't like running into stuff over and over and over again. You know what I mean? So it's like, tell me what the deal is, what can we do, how can we resolve it, and if you can't resolve it at that moment, then how can we be civil still? You know what I mean? Like, without it turning into anything else, because I'm an Aries. I can go from 0 to 1,000 real quick. You know what I mean? Like, boom, like. So it's like I try to feed off of people's energy, you know what I mean, when it comes to that, and then just kind of determine from there. My end result is never malice or harm or hurt or any of that stuff. So if I can tell that what I'm saying or I'm doing is like hurting or harming somebody, you know, even if I'm not trying to, like they're just agitated because of whatever it is. All right, cool, let me back off, because if I press the gas some more, I'm gonna probably light a fire. And if I light a fire and I'm already fired, everything gonna go in flames. So I just try to play it by ear and just kind of, you know, determine how to deal with it. But for me, when a problem arises, my end result is a solution. You know what I mean? So that's my thing.
I was gonna piggyback off of what you said. Um, I have the same thought process. If a person that you're already with, or ones that you may have been with previously, you learn something from each and every one. Like you said, everybody is different. Everybody's raised differently, brought up differently, taught how to do things differently. And some people receive criticism or anger or anything of that nature in different ways. Some people may, like, for example, and this is no knock to anyone, such as Green Eyes, she takes her time and leaves away. Whereas for yourself, if you can communicate with the person, you will. But if you see that you can't, then so be it. But I agree with you the same way. I'm more of that type of style too. I kind of evaluate, what the situation is, and then see who or what can be said in that time period. Because I've been with people that will be mad for a week and won't say nothing to you, and just the sight of you will just set them off. But then you got some people who will argue 10 minutes, and then 15 minutes I'm like, you want to go get something to eat? Like, you was just mad like 10 minutes ago. What you doing? So you gotta be able to assess that type of person. And I like how you put that. Just because you know a person, you know their routine does not. I can't think of the right word, but it does not identify what they are feeling at that very moment. Because we're all humans. We all have different emotions at different times. We have and that's what I think a lot of people get confused with. You get confused with personality with emotion. Those are somewhat different in certain perspectives. Like, just because a person gets angry doesn't mean that's just their personality. That's an emotion, which is a part of them. So, yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
do you have anything else to say? You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I agree with Kennedy said. Take 29 days to break a habit. So the full one.
Yeah.
It's true.
So I'm gonna be honest. It really
As you
depends
should.
on the person as well, because, like I said, with my last relationship, he was the type of person that needed time to cool off, or like he needed to disconnect while I needed to connect. Because for me, like, that ignoring thing it does something to me. That shutting down, or you don't want to talk to me because there's something that you might be upset with, and it might not even be on my part, but if something you even done. How do you need space when I need connection, and it's something that you've done to me? That is very unfair, because I like to fix it right then and there. Because if you let that go on, it's going to turn into a bigger, like, snowball effect. And then I don't want to go to bed, because I'm going to tell you, there was many times I went to sleep feeling very unloved, because I felt like, dang, you're just going to ignore me. You're just going to, let me lay here feeling some type of way. And I have always been taught to never go to bed mad.
Facts.
Yes.
And so that, for me to
Heard
go
that
to
from
bed
Mom and Dad.
mad is like, it's disastrous for me. I'm a Virgo. I don't know if it's just a Virgo thing, but a female, as at that. So my mind is going to play, over and over in my head, whatever the issue was, and it's going to, like, weigh on me. And so for me, I need to have that conversation right now. Now, maybe not right exactly at this second, but even if you do need space, like, hey, just give me a few minutes, let me go cool off, and then we can have the conversation. But you at least letting me know what is to come, and that you're not just shutting me out, and now I don't know if you even love me or want to be with me anymore, because of some small minuscule argument that could have just been a conversation. So for me now, because I obviously haven't been in a relationship since then, when an issue arises, to be honest, a lot of times I just kind of am like them. I just kind of don't. I'm not going to say anything, because I don't feel like I have to always explain things to grown folks. If you do something, especially now, I think because the way that I'm set up after that relationship, if I've set a boundary and you cross it, you're kind of crossed off my list in the first place, because I don't have time or the energy to tell a grown person what they're doing wrong to me if you know you're doing something wrong. And so for me, I'm very quick to cut somebody off, because whether it's friend or relationship. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's a difference between teaching versus preaching.
Yeah.
when it comes to that. That's all I was gonna say.
and and then I had a friend, my friend Serena. She actually had kind of said something to me because I was getting to the point where things were starting to boil over, not even just in relationships, relationship wise, but like friendship wise, where I was starting to like just hold things in, where people were hurting me, and I kept holding it and holding it and holding it. And she kind of used the euphemism of like it being a 2 liter, right? Don't let it get to the point where you're feeling it's like a 2 liter, and when it gets shaken up and it explodes. She's like, not even get down to a 20 ounce, and then and then to the point where now I'm at the point where I can't even deal with a shot glass. And it's because that fight or flight instinct, that instinct of telling me like this isn't healthy, it sounds an alarm. And I remember even speaking to my therapist, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm so mean to men. And it's not that. She's like, no, she goes, quit using things that are negative against yourself. She goes, you're just tired of dealing with things that you feel are not appropriate to your mental health and your peace. She said it's not that you're mean. She goes, you're setting boundaries and you're sticking to them. She's like, so quit speaking negatively about yourself, because she'll be like, don't talk about my Jen like that, and it kind of helped me because I kept feeling like, man, I'm being so mean because I just don't have the energy to argue with somebody. And I keep on saying motherfucker. But I don't have the energy to argue with somebody. I just will remove myself completely.
You gotta protect your peace. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And so where I kept feeling like I'm like I'm being mean to these people. No, they just were hitting a spot that I didn't want to deal with. Sissy. That I just feel like it was triggering me. Not in like like, oh, I'm triggered, but no, it was triggering a sense in me that like I can't deal with this. I won't. And so it's not that. So much I was being mean. It was just setting a boundary, but I was teaching people how to treat me. Like, you're not going to do this, and now this is the consequence of your action, and now I'm going to just remove myself from it. And I don't have to feel bad. And I always used to feel bad about doing things that were good for me because it hurt somebody else. But guess what? They weren't feeling so hurt about hurting me. So that's where the mindset came in. Like, oh. Well, you weren't so worried about hurting me, so now I'm gonna just remove myself. Being around me and being in my, my friendship circle, or even being, in my circle in romantically, it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a need. It's, something I'm allowing you. I'm allowing you to be in my circle. It's not something you have to have. It's because I am allowing you to be in my circle.
It's a privilege.
A privilege. Thank you. Now, the word there we go. A privilege. Thank you. It's a privilege. So I had to realize that, it's something for me that it took the self-love inside to really kind of shine out, because I always felt like everybody else's feelings were ahead of mine, and now I'm putting mine first. And so to some that might make me an asshole, but to me it just means that I'm loving myself more.
That means that they ain't grown up enough to understand adult.
Yeah, because I mean, when we go through our things in life, listen, like Jen, we're friends. You know what I mean? Yeah. Green eyes, all this, we're all cool. You know what I mean? Listen, it's two things I'm gonna always keep sacred to myself. My peace, all right? That's number one. My peace. Period. Got to keep my peace. Ain't nobody gonna sit here and break my peace. I don't care what you got going on. I don't care what you saying and you doing. You ain't breaking my peace. Like you're saying, it's a privilege for people to be around us. And at the end of the day, if it don't serve me no purpose, I don't care. Like, it whatever you got going on, that's gonna help you. Whatever energy, emotions you're getting out and you're expressing, okay, cool. Are you done? Because now that you're done, okay, so what are we getting to? Are we getting to the point? Because this ain't helping my purpose or yours, and this ain't giving me no peace, nor you as well, too. So what we doing?
You know me. You know what I tell you. I keep it 1,000. I don't sugarcoat. Nothing for nobody.
We are not
at
Willy
all.
Wonka, okay? We might got the juice, but we ain't got the sugar coating. You know what I'm
If you
saying?
want to view paradise, then go get you some candy.
If you
That
want
part.
chocolate, go watch Willy Wonka.
Go
We
watch
ain't got nothing for that. They gotta go to the candy store over there.
if you want to view paradise.
With that being
Exactly.
said, I'm just in. What did I miss? Well, hold your horses and we'll let you know. But right now, when you hear that sound, that means we are at our hot seat question segment. Our hot seat question is left up to the fate of the audience. That's right. I went to Instagram to ask our peers what they wanted to ask for this week's hot seat question. If you want your question to be featured on next week's episode, please make sure you guys go to my profile, click on the icon, and follow me on Instagram, and look out for that hot seat question post. And please, God, quit asking me if I'm single. Yes, I am, and no, I'm not. Also, now is the time to enter in the comments who on the panel you want to answer tonight's question before I reveal it. Go ahead and enter in the comments now.
Oh,
Oh,
There you go.
all three of y'all.
Yeah.
All three of y'all.
go ahead and Eyes of Green. Wow, Jen. Wow, midnight, not the host. I mean, yes, I'm part of it too. I get it. Green eyes. Ooh, another. Dang, they beating
Shoot,
up
I might
on
as
me
well
tonight.
type in green. Let me type in green.
Hey, it's on green eyes tonight, baby. It's on green eyes.
It's all on you.
It's on you,
before
baby.
y'all. This not nice.
Did you see her face? She's like, oh, I didn't think that was going to happen. Well, actually, this week, RDS wrote in and said, can a person's past be a deal breaker? Can a person's past be a deal breaker? Why or why not?
I'm gonna pull out my mama's voice.
Lucky I can't say nothing. I love y'all, but y'all, okay?
All
right.
Mm.
To me, the past it can be a deal breaker because the past is the past. You know that was before. Even if it was, when I was in the relationship with the person, that's still the past. We can get through that. That's not a deal breaker at all. Maybe in some other people's eyes it can be, but to me, no, I don't think it can be.
Can I weigh in on that? Okay. While I understand the past is the past, I also think about how a lot of times history repeats itself. And so, and that's not saying that's always the case, because actually I was kind of having a conversation about this in Nobody's Live. And yes, people can change and people can, but a lot of times we are creatures of habit. And so if I see things, literally, if I see things, especially if you got to know someone as a friend and you kind of know how they are, that'll kind of deter me one way or the other. Like, I know that this has been a pattern with every relationship. What would make me different? You know what I'm saying? If that were to happen, or if you've seen somebody. Now, sometimes, don't quote me, but sometimes people will just get ready for the person they want to get ready for, and maybe that past doesn't matter. But a lot of times, like I said, we are a creature of habit, so it wouldn't be behoove of me to treat it as such. But at the same time, I don't want to be a part of that history that repeats itself either. So, if you was out here slanging all day long, do I feel like you're going to be faithful to me? Probably not. I'm probably going to think that you're a creature of habit.
Man, I'm a little cynical in heart. Sometimes I'm not even gonna front with you. I be thinking on the scary movie tacket, and black people die first in a scary movie. All I'm saying is this: people got past, and you don't know what they was doing. They might have been chopping up bodies and put them in the barrel in the past. You know what I mean? And then they come across you, and now all of a sudden they feel like they can hold that little, twitch and they cannot chop up a body no more. No, baby, I need to know a little bit about that. If you tell me you like them barrels a lot, then I'm gonna have to make sure I stay away from it. So
Right.
I guess it depends. Like I feel like you shouldn't hold people to growth with certain things, but when it comes to certain subjects, like for me, when it comes to certain morality situations, like yeah, I kind of need to know like if you prone to chop somebody up or if you like little kids or some other little stuff, because I'm not gonna be down with that. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna, and it's no disrespect to those people that experience that stuff, because sometimes there's real like tragic reasons why they're going through those things that they're going through. The whole situation. I need to know if I'm gonna end up somewhere real quick. Like, but as far as just like generalities of like just people growing and learning, and maybe they made a mistake. They had a friendship with one person or a relationship with somebody that they didn't, do the best with or whatever, and now they kind of grown and understood. Like, okay, I kind of acted like this.
Nothing.
I don't even know where to start with this because, boy, well, number one for me, the past for me, we understand, everybody lived a life. They went to college, they did all that, certain types of lives that they lived and all that good stuff. I ain't talking about the dark side. I'm talking about the normal side. Normal side. Me personally, I can't deal with a past that come with 7 other individuals that come with that person. I'm sorry. There's a lot of that out here these days. Going back to when I was in high school, there was a girl who had 3 kids before she graduated. Yeah, kid each year. So, looking back at things like that, I'm not a person that's tight with money or attached to money or anything like that. But when it comes to being able to live, we already know it's hard enough for anybody in this world to be able to make a living here, just say in the U.S., because where I work for, they're global, and I understand that they have better things than we do. But here, just in the U.S., it's already hard enough to make it, to have your own, to have everything that you need, and to be able to put someone with you that has that extra. I won't even say baggage, because you can't count kids baggage. That's not right. You count them as humans, human beings. How are you going to provide for that person plus yourself plus all the other individuals that come with that person? You have to think about that. So I think, especially if it's not brought up, because I've had one friend of mine who lived here in Atlanta, and sad to say, the woman he was dating, they almost got married, and come to find out she had 3 kids and never told him about it. I don't know how she kept that a secret, but she did. So this is why stuff like that, no, I'm about to do an ancestry on you. We gonna go down to the hospital, see if you got any birth certificates down there with different. We're gonna check all of that out. That's just me. I'm just think of things like that. But past is past. You have to deal with certain things, but that's one of my deal breakers. Not doing all that extra stuff, but just genuinely just being honest. Like if you have a whole bunch of kids, let the person know, or things like that. Let them know you have certain things going on. So being reasonable.
If y'all are just pulling up, or if you're not here, please don't call my freaking phone during a show when you know my show time is, because it's the same time every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you, and fuck you also for ruining my recording. But anyways, we just talked about, are you a good communicator? Probably freaking not. What do you find it hard to talk about? Pretty much everything at this moment. How do you deal with issues when they arise? Probably have to lose my shit. But anyways, the message is simple and as a plain to see as a flashing street sign. Don't let your baggage slow you down. Remember, men have baggage too, and they find it refreshing when we are honest and unload it right from the start. As long as you keep it light and positive, you should have nothing but green lights ahead. He will, in turn, feel comfortable enough to let you in on his baggage as well. Get it out there and leave it all behind. The best way to start your journey together is traveling light. Family can be a part of your baggage too. It's not always about exes or some huge trauma. So I want to know, do you think the relationship with your parents affected how you are in romantic relationships?
For me, absolutely. Absolutely. For good, for bad, for ugly, and indifferent. Absolutely. Because looking at their journey and what they went through in the process of it, I wasn't one of those kids that, was fortunate enough to kind of like be able to have the candy coated, childhood. So I saw a lot of raw stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, good, bad, ugly, indifferent definitely shaped a lot of how I've dated and dealt with people, and not just even dating, but friendships and just general day to day. Yeah, had to learn a lot from it.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Do you think the relationship with your parents affected how you are in romantic relationships?
Um, yes and no. Um, my parents weren't really involved like in my relationship like that, so it's kind of like a yes and no kind of thing. So it's like that's your business. So I'm not gonna get into it, kind of thing. So yeah, pretty much no.
This question kind of hit me a little bit, so bear with me if I take a small pause. So, I would have to say yes. Um, my parents helped me shape to be the person that I am today. Uh, Granted, I don't have my mother here anymore, which hurts very badly because just a small side fact, she passed the month right before my son was born. So, uh, a lot of things that I learned from her and from my father. I saw the good, I saw the bad, I saw the arguments, everything. But at the end of the day, I would not trade anything that I ever learned from them for anything at all. Nothing. Because I not only have the responsibility now of continuing that, but also teaching my son that as well. And to show him how to be a productive member of society first, and then teach him how to love someone that he cares for. And I will always show him that, granted, me and his mother are not together anymore, but at the same time, I will never, I can't change that learning process or that thought process of myself that I learned from my parents to give to my son, no matter what. Even if he lives in 2 separate houses, it doesn't matter. So I'm always going to be able to pass that on. And I truly appreciate my mom and my dad still to this day. So, forever. Genesee.
So this one definitely hits home a bit for me. I grew up in a home where my dad very much yelled a lot. He wasn't my birth father, and we're not talking about pops. But my birth father yelled a lot. And I think that affected my romantic relationships because when I got with people who were probably a little bit, no, not probably, they were abusive. I think it almost felt like home. And it was something I hated, and I would try to, like, okay, well, I can find someone who doesn't look like him, or they don't do this, but I ended up being with someone almost exactly like my father was. Not saying my father necessarily, put hands, but definitely was verbally abusive growing up. So for me, I think I end up finding men who were a lot like him. However, on the other side of the hand, my mom was kind of more of a passive person. Like she don't really express her feelings like that. And so I think that's where, the shutdown part would also come in, where I would go to express myself and I just wouldn't, or I would just sweep it under the rug. And so I think that's something that's affected me, but that's something that I have been very open and honest about. Like I said, I'm very self-aware. And so that's something that I'm working on now. Because for me, when you do that, thank you, when you do that, it really caused a ripple because I didn't really realize that's what it was until much later. You know, like, dang, like he was just like him. And that's why the first time I remember when my past relationship, when he yelled at me, I think why it triggered me so bad, because I didn't talk to him for like a week after that. But I think it was that same, you know, like that being that child again, getting yelled at, because, you know, living with someone like him, you know, he had mental illness. It was a way a lot. It was a way a lot. And you didn't know whether that day you were going to be the good kid or the bad kid. And so it was almost like that in my my last relationship of, like, I had to walk on eggshells. And I think my whole life I've always had to walk on eggshells in relationships because I wanted to please them, so I'd never had to deal with that feeling. But now, where I'm at now, I think that's why I've stayed single as long as I have now, because I'm unwilling to deal with that at all. I'm unwilling. If you even think you're going to yell at me, I promise you I will be out, because it triggers that fight or flight in me so quick that I'll be out quicker than my ex.
That's that boundary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's your ultimate boundary that you have set.
Because like that, when people, it might not even be necessary, like, to me, but just listening, like, you know, I had have a friend, and I played the video game with them, right, and we were playing Fortnite, and they like got really upset and they started screaming about the game. They're like, "Man, you sound like," and it wasn't necessarily geared towards me, but I had to take a few days to be back around them because it triggered something in me so deeply, you know, with the abuse that I had went through, you know, not about just growing up, but in my last relationship, it triggered me so deeply that I was like, I had to take a step back, because even like to be around someone like that, you're kind of unpredictable, and I don't want to be around someone with unpredictable, you know, feelings. Like, yes, I get upset. You even just seen me get upset, you know, a few moments ago but it's something that I'm passionate about. There's a difference. Getting upset over something you're passionate about, or you're just an angry person, that's different. I'm not an angry person. I get upset because I'm human. But those things for me are definitely, you know, things that trickled down from, you know, my parents. And while my mother is the way she is, she's kind of like, this is the most I've ever seen her emotional in my life. But, you know, growing up, she kind of like put herself into her work, you know, so she didn't really have to deal with what was going on around. But that very much did a lot to us kids, because we're the ones who had to deal with it. You know, she got to go to work all day, and we're the ones stuck at home in hell. And so it really kind of, you know, it did something. It makes you look at, you know, men differently, or it makes you look at, you know, when if they start to yell, then I'm already like, that shutdown comes in. But do y'all have anything else to say?
No, I just,
That was a little deep, I know.
That's something that could be talked about all by itself for a long time.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
So maybe, you know, if anyone, you know, deal with that, you know, we can have that as a future topic. But that's definitely, that one hit home a little bit for me.
Yeah.
hey, we all make progress every single day. We never stop learning. So
Yeah.
progress is better than regress.
Mm-hmm. If y'all are just pulling up, that's okay. You guys can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Red Room Talk. You guys have not missed it all. We still have a little bit more to discuss. We just discussed, are you a good communicator? What do you find it hard to talk about? How do you deal with issues when they arise? And do you think the relationship with your parents affected how you are in romantic relationships? Dating is filled with uncertainty, and it can be intimidating. Instinctively, you may feel a bit of anxiety about the whole thing and start to avoid dating altogether. Or if you're putting yourself out there, you may decide to floor it in reverse once things really get going. Instead of worrying and focusing on the negative, imagine the best case scenario. Picture the two of you reaching the destination together. Let yourself feel happy. Don't let worry or fear or trust halt chances of finding love. So I want to know, is it hard for you to trust others? And do people have to earn your trust, or is it just given freely? So is it hard for you to trust others, and do people have to earn your trust, or is it given freely?
I mean, for me, I just feel like that's a double-edged sword. I feel like I don't feel like people are supposed to like go through a checklist for me. You know what I mean? Like you gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do that, gotta do that. If you don't do this directly, then I'll never trust you. Like some people that do that, that's annoying to me. I can't stand that type of stuff. My thing is, it's like it's just like to me because I feel like it just depends on what people's perception of trust is in the first place. You know what I mean? What their perspectives and perceptions of it is. Because for me, it is what it is. Like if we're out somewhere and a tree is falling, you know what I mean? Like and we're both moving the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like relationships when it comes to trust, I'll let people have it in general. Now, once you show me, you know what I mean? You only got to show me one good time. Once you show me that I'm giving you trust and it ain't worth giving it to you to keep or nothing, hey, we Gucci. Like, it is what it is on it. Like, I don't have to double back on it. You know what I mean? Like, you only got one time to fool me. And that's it. Like, it'll never be a 2 or 3 times. It's only once. Once you cross that line once, we good on it. But as far as just in general, I don't walk around in general like I don't trust nobody. Don't this, don't that, don't da da da. Because to me, that's just like a horrible little existence. So, but to just sit there and just say like flat out like all situations, everything, yes, right off the bat, maybe not so much, but still I try to give leeway to everything. But once you snatch it, oh, we done. Like we done. So.
I agree with that.
Yeah. That's how I kind of feel this stuff.
You want me to go?
Go ahead.
I'll go. So my thought process on trust, I'll give it to you in the beginning, because everybody, it's that saying like everybody deserves at least one chance. But once you've broken it, or once you've shown me without even how can I say? Once you've shown that I can't trust you, or you've done something to show that trust is broken,
right?
It ain't gonna be the same no more. It's kind of like I seen a quote one time, or it's like a metaphor where it said, "Trust is like a glass. Once it's shattered, it can never be the same."
Mm-hmm.
So once you break it, or once it's broken, you can piece it back together, but it's still not gonna be the same. You're gonna see all the cracks, the imperfections. You're gonna see all the issues that's wrong with the glass. And 9 times out of 10, if you're smart, you're not gonna drink from that glass because that glass has sharp edges on it. So I think trust is it can be earned, it can be given, but it can be quickly taken away just as fast as it can be given. And especially with someone that you care for and maybe trust them in the very beginning, especially when you care for them and that you confess your love to them and pronounce your love to them. When they break it, it's like shattering your whole heart. And we all humans, we all feel that, especially if you've been with somebody for quite some time and that trust is broken. It hurts and it takes time to heal from it. But at the same time, you also learn from it as well and be able to set even newer boundaries so that way you don't have that same feeling again. And you can kind of tell. For me personally, I give that trust again to the next person, but at the same time, I look for those same type of how they say red flags these days. They say red flags. So the red flags that you had in the previous, you don't bring them with you and automatically assume that they have them, but you start to notice those little things in there that could possibly lead to it, and you pay attention to it. You don't automatically tag it as a red flag. You look at it, and you're like, I'm gonna keep a note of that. But progress forward. See what else is gonna be the next step after that. So that's how I kind of view it and go off of trust. But you get my trust in the very beginning. But once you broke it, is it? Ain't no second chance.
I'm actually a lot like CJ. I mean, it's definitely hard for me to trust people when you've had the people who in your lifetime, going from family, parents, the people who are supposed to love and care for you the most, you know, relationships, the people who are supposed to care for you the most hurt you. It's really hard to put that trust into strangers.
Yeah.
And I'm a lot like CJ, where it's almost like if you've been to those classes where you walk in and the teacher says, "Okay, everyone starts with an A," and as time progresses, your grade will either go down or be sustained at an A. And
Yep.
for me, I will give that trust, not like obviously full in trust, but I will give you that open room to show me either the good or the bad. I mean, and that's up to you. Everyone kind of starts off with that same open room. They start off with that A, and as time goes on, you're either going to show me whether I should have or shouldn't have trusted you. And so for me, I mean, yeah, it's definitely hard, but I think it's also detrimental because if you have no trust in anyone, you're never going to allow yourself the openness to love somebody. You have to allow yourself to trust people because you don't know if that wall that you've built up of distrust could keep you from someone who will love you to the highest degree. So it's like that double-edged sword. If you do and you get hurt, but that's the thing about love, right? If you're only worried about your heart, you really know nothing about love. So you have to take that chance. It's a 50-50 chance. Either you're gonna find the love of your life and it's a beautiful thing, or you're just going to be put on a path to whoever it is that you're supposed to be with. So even if someone does hurt you in that way in relationship sense, you're just put on the path towards a person who you're supposed to be with, and you just know that now that person is untrustworthy. And this has kind of been a rule of thumb for me now, especially. But when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. It's kind of like, if you give someone else that gun, to they might reload it and actually shoot yourself, shoot you this time. So them second chances be real hard to come by for me. Now I'm at that, you get one chance. You get one shot, do not miss your chance. Yeah, that's me. Before it was those chance after chance and shaft, and it was just a second chance for them to actually hit the target, and I don't have that kind of time or energy.
All right. What Kevin Gates say? He say, I can forgive you, but I can't forgive what you did.
Mm-hmm.
That's very simple, straight to the point. Not saying that he came up with that, but
Yeah.
I read that from a book from somewhere.
He said, "Cause what
But-
you did to me, that wasn't cool." No, I like Kevin Gates. Okay, but yes, if
Not
y'all.
you,
Yeah, my heart is bigger than my body in the Louis gate line. There we go. Okay, if y'all are just pulling up,
Trust is a big problem.
oh, that is the biggest thing. But a relationship without trust is like a boat on dry land. It's gonna go nowhere.
Which is that's my issue is trust.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to trust anybody or anybody to gain my trust.
I'll be honest. I feel like because of my life experiences and the things that I've been through in my life, when it comes to trust, like I said, I give it right off the bat. Somebody snatch it, it's done. But when it comes down to it, I'll be honest. Trust is not my main issue with the relationship because I already know I have to trust myself more than anybody, no matter what. You know what I mean? Because if I'm in a relationship, especially children, all that other stuff, I don't give no damns how he feel, what the situation is. My child come first. The things I need to do come first. My life come first. So I can love him. I can trust him. I can respect him. I can listen to that all day, every day. But when there's certain situations that's going down, hey, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? So, when it comes down to that stuff, I don't know, when I was younger, I was real big on that when I was young, but now that I'm 40 and older in life, listen, I love everybody. I got respect for everybody. I'll give everybody the decency of trusting certain stuff in just general life situations. But it's me. You know what I mean? It's me. And I feel like if I can't be the best version of myself, like I said, keep my peace and my purpose together, keep the things that I want for myself together so that I can stay in power for myself, then I'm not no good in no relationship, no way, because I don't have no boundaries, I don't have no nothing, I don't have no anything that I can stand into a relationship and actually bring forward something to a relationship that's viable and that will grow you as a person. And that's the reason why I feel like, a lot of times when it comes to dating, a lot of people be like, oh, it's all about the other person. No, it's about you. It's about you. Because if you ain't good for nobody yourself, you ain't good for nobody. You ain't good for nobody. Why you worried about dating? All you gonna do is put all your issues on everybody else. So get yourself together, figure out what you want for yourself, be the best version of yourself for yourself, show up for yourself every day. If you can't show up for yourself every day, you'll never do it for a man or a child. You know what I mean? You'll never do it for family or friends. Like, you gotta be able to show up for yourself all the time. If it take a dude for you to feel encouraged in your life, then that's a problem with you, not nobody else. You're going to always have issues. You can go to every therapist in the world. You can go to all this stuff. If you can't love on yourself and if you can't treat yourself the best first, then what are you going to give to anybody else? Nothing. Nothing. So if I got to fake the funk with myself to make sure that I give the best of myself so that I can give the best to others, then that's what I'm going to do. Because if I can't do it with myself, I can't do it with nobody else. You know what I mean? So I don't know. For me, it's like when it comes to that type of stuff, that's why I just like, look, okay, I trust you. It's cool. But guess what? I ain't stupid neither. I ain't going to sit here and act like, just because I lay next to you, I'm going to trust you with my whole entire everything that goes on. I came into the world by myself. I'm going to leave by myself. Right. And it's not me being selfish or, narcissistic or any of that stuff or whatever people try to say when you actually, like, love yourself. You know what I mean? Like all this little jargon we go through. No. If you got issues with yourself, you're going to have issues with other people. If you got this and this and that with yourself, it's going to be the same thing with other people. 2 + 2 = 4, not 5 because you carried one because you won.
Right. I like that because that made me think about something. I heard this, I think it was on a podcast or something I was listening to. And the guy said, it was a panel of men and women, just not guys. And one of the guys said, if this is for a man or a woman, if you end up trying to date somebody and you don't have your own stuff together and you're not surviving before they came, you're not gonna survive. You're gonna suffer even more with them. You're gonna make them suffer even more than what they already don't have, and you're gonna add even more problems to them. So why would you do that? Why would you put yourself in a situation of being, and I use this analogy very nicely. Why would you put a broke person with another broke person?
Exactly.
And he says, was it Ace metaphor when he says 0 × 0 = 0? It does not add to 1.
That is not,
You see respectfully, you see 2 homeless people with a dog on the street. Y'all about to be 2 homeless people like, no. That's not true love. That's not true love. That is called a true toxic bond.
Yes.
That is a true toxic bond. Because for y'all to think that y'all being at the worst of y'all worst and aiding each other at the worst of y'all worst means that's love, that's toxic. That's stupid.
And that's not to say that everyone who is going to always meet someone at their best. Let's be honest. But this is the thing. If you love me, or if I love you, the places where I lack, I'm going to get ready. Because I see whatever need that I feel that's what not only you deserve, but I deserve. So that's why I say, when I was talking about earlier, like it's about someone's past, it's not always about just the past, but it's also habits. We're creatures of habit. And so he or she might have been a HO3 back in the day, and that's why the women would always be like, oh, well, he didn't do that for me, why he doing all that for her? Because it wasn't you weren't the one.
It's 11:04.
If you're the one,
you can say what you want. It's 11:04.
Listen, if he was a hold in, it doesn't matter. if he got ready for you, then he got ready for you. Then his last is gonna be like, well, he wouldn't. That he does all this shit for her, but he wouldn't do it for me. You just wasn't the one, baby. And it's not no disrespect. You just wasn't the one. Because when a man sees someone that he wants to be right for, he's gonna be right for her. If a woman sees a man she wants to be right for, she'll get right for him. But you just was. It just wasn't you. And even that's something I had to accept. You know, my ex-husband, he ended up getting with a woman, having a baby, and I remember, like, I didn't have to question myself because I knew what it was. He just wasn't ready. He was a child.
So I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
Rebecca said something very, very close to what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm trying to gather my thought of how I want to say it. Basically, she was saying that if you need a person to motivate you to get your shit together, you ain't in no position to be with nobody. Because what's to say that just because that one person motivated you, another person won't motivate you? You just bouncing from person to person because you want to be with somebody. How about you approach the person, you get to know them, you see what qualities that they bring, and then you do a self-evaluation of yourself, and then you be like, oh, I need to get this together, I need to get this together, I need to get this together. Let me see if I can do this, and then be open and honest with the person. Be like, look, these are 3 areas I'm struggling in, but we're going to get right. I'm going to get right. Give me a certain, and don't even, I won't even go that far. Give yourself a timeline to get those things in order. Mm-hmm. And this could be male, female, no gender specific. But look at it from that perspective, and then you build, and then you see if that person is willing to wait, and if not, then you continue to work on those things if that person decides to leave or stay. Because then not only are you bettering yourself for the next person that you may come across that may have those same type of qualities that that person saw and that you need to improve for yourself, now you're going to be ready.
Because they say that you date it where
you won't
you're
have
at.
no deficiencies in what you feel is necessary in order to date someone.
Because they say that you date where you're at, like, and let's be honest, you might, grow and realize they're not even your type anymore. They might not even be worthy of the things that you have to offer now. And that's not to say that that's, but it's the truth.
That's real.
It's
that's
real.
not. That's no flaw.
But
That's real.
Like people should self-date versus like dating other people. You get what I'm saying? Because honestly and truly, I'm gonna be honest. I tell people this all the time. It's just the real truth of it, and you know what? I don't even feel bad about saying this shit. I don't fucking believe in dating. I don't believe in dating. I think it's bull crap. I think it's just like the hallmark of, getting dang and twat. Like, oh, let me just sit here and let's get ready to go out. No, you date your husband, you date your wife. That's who you're supposed to be dating. That's who you're supposed to be like continuously getting to know and all this other. I've never found nobody that actually really, really can honestly say they truly learned anything from dating all these different people. You don't learn from dating other people. You learn from yourself. You can end up talking to the same type of person, different nationalities, different everything, the exact same type of person, and now you got 20 bodies on you. Now you got 50 bodies on you. I'm sorry. I'm selfish. I don't want to share my body with everybody. I want my husband to know that this twat ain't been ran through. I don't need thousands of miles on the car and be a used ass car for a dude to know that I'm a fucking Ferrari. You don't advertise for Ferraris. I ain't seen no Ferrari advertisement, but I done seen plenty of Hondas. I done seen plenty of Hyundais. I done seen I feel like dating turns us into like Hondas.
Yeah.
And then we're out here trying to tell people, well, I'm the brand new Honda. You still ain't the Ferrari, baby. You still ran through. If I pull you off the lot and you depreciate more, that's a problem. And most of the people that want to get into dating, you get into the hot seat of the actual dates and all this stuff. And guess what? You end up realizing that I don't even want to pull this bitch off the lot.
Yeah. Let me tell you, when it starts to almost like an interview. It's almost like an interview. Like it becomes like That's why I'm being honest. When I say like dating, like my favorite dates are just the walk and talks in the park or walk and talks downtown because it gives no pressure, first of all, to the man to put forth money monetarily or to check his bag because I don't care about what you
Women should
got.
not be expecting for a man to take her out on thousands of dollars worth. Girl, first of all, if your clothes came from Fashion Nova, I need you to sit your ass down.
Thank you.
I love me some Fashion Nova too, but if you in Fashion Nova, don't be sitting here thinking that you deserve to be in a Lamborghini right now. I
Boy,
mean,
no.
shit. Like, stop listening to these rap songs. You really tripping.
Boy.
You know what I mean? Like, them women got men.
Right? She's talking about I don't cook, I don't clean. Yeah, because she's got a maid, she got a chef, she got money. Okay, she don't have to.
You know what you feel her doing? You feel her
It's
in
not
there.
the real world.
You feel her in there brushing the doggone floor. She's in there, sweeping the floor and stuff like. That's what I'm saying. Beyonce, I'm a single lady. Girl, you've been in a relationship for 30 years.
I'm glad.
And
that
even
time is-
Beyonce got cheated on, okay?
Right. Well,
Like, and that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm like, when it comes down to all this dating stuff, I just really feel like people, when it comes to dating, date yourself. Like, learn yourself. Once you learn yourself, you will stop making these same stupid mistakes over and over. Get past your trauma. Get past the things that you're going through. Get past the things that you are newly traumatizing yourself to. Because just like we learn good habits all the time, we learn bad habits all the time.
Because it's like poking a wound that's never been healed. It's going to keep opening up. And most of the time with dating, like actual dates, it becomes like, it's like an interview, right? It's like you come as, they come as a representative. That's why I don't like, let's go to dinner, right? Okay, it's not even about the food, because look, I'm a chunky girl, as we know. But for me, it's not even about that. That's not why I don't like going out to dinner. No, because it's just, it becomes like that interview, like it's a business arrangement. No, because I'm going to tell you, 9 times out of 10, the people I've had the most connections with mentally on a mental level, we never even went on a date. It was just getting to know them, having conversations, deep conversations, someone who has an understanding of who I am, where I've been, and where I don't want to be. But when it becomes almost interview-like, it's a
committed
turn-off.
relationships. Like, if you're in a committed relationship, you go out on a date. Y'all talk about your day. You'll talk about this and that. You'll talk about your future plans and endeavors. Me going out and talking to a dude and sitting over food, sitting here talking about his future plans, I really don't damn care. Because honestly, if my vagina ain't tingling for you, it's not gonna work no way. It's not gonna matter. You know what I mean? So you can say all the best, greatest things in the world. It don't matter. Like, and that's the reason why I just feel like, like when it comes down to that stuff, I'll have people be like, well, how do you find somebody to be with? Don't. Don't. Just be. And when it's meant for you and that person to be together, it'll be. We get so pressured. And we allow socialism and marketing to control our freaking life. Every kiss begins with K. Oh, it's Valentine's season. Oh, it's the holidays. It's about the kids. It's about the this and that. Just because you ain't got no kid, that don't not make you no woman. Just because you ain't got no man, that don't not make you no woman. I don't give no damns about no every kiss begins with K. Because guess what? I know that there's a little dude on the other side of that that got stank breath that farts and do all the same stuff like everybody else do. Even if I think he fine, even if he mine, even if this and that, whatever, it's still the same thing. He gonna do the same thing everybody do. Oh, the kids. Guess what? Wait till you pull shit off your hand from a dirty diaper. You know what I mean? Like, is it really that cute no more? No. You know what I mean? Like, I really feel like we put so much emphasis into focusing on that, and all we're doing is just feeding into marketing, number one, and then feeding into our own demise because we've allowed ourselves to feel like toxic is everything that we live and eat and breathe. Just because we're survivors doesn't mean that everything has to be toxic. Survival is not all toxic and it's not all bad. And when it comes to like dating and love and relationships, it ain't all toxic and it ain't all bad. If I gotta interview a dude, then I don't need to deal with you. If I gotta switch your phone, I don't need to deal with you. If I gotta this and that, I don't need to deal with you. Because if that's the case, then why am I doing this in the first place? If I can't allow myself to say, okay, I've been through bad stuff in the past, but guess what? This dude, every time his phone click, I'm not going to think it's a bitch like the last one. That's your choice. That's your thing that you have to go through. They can sit there and you can tell them, oh, well, every time your phone clicks, it reminds me of the past. Like, that's your fucking problem. Bitch keeps switch that ass somewhere else. If you get around him and you want to be with him, you gotta give him that opportunity. You gotta give each other the opportunity. And if you're not willing to give yourself the opportunity to actually communicate with people, go through the good and the bad and the ugly with it, then don't do it.
That's why I say if you're dating and you're only worried about your heart, you know nothing about love.
Don't do it.
I love that you said
because that's what be like killer with it. Cause like I ain't gonna front. I done ran through the ringers with like even with my life or even listening to other people's evaluating and stuff like that from doing like relationship counseling when I was younger as well too, which is some of the reasons why I'm very blunt about what I say on here, because sometimes people do need to directly hear certain things. Like, you know that, you know, it's not okay the way that you think towards other people. It is okay for somebody that is feeling victimized to feel empowered as well too. But at the same time, too, it is okay for a person that's victimizing people to get scolded.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not okay for you to just do what you want to do and everybody else get hurt and it's this, and that. No, I learned from all aspects of it. That's why at this point in life, I deal with what I deal with, but at the same time, too, don't ever try it. Don't try it. Like, I'm not the 1, 2, 3, or 4. I was born on the first. That was it.
That's
you
it.
know what I mean? Like,
Nah, I was gonna say I agree with what you said about a lot of us these days, or it don't even have an age perspective. But a lot of people feed into the marketing and all that stuff. It's sad, especially where I live at. I live in Atlanta, and everybody think they're a fucking movie star. Everybody. They think they entitled to every fucking thing and ain't got nothing to show for it. You living in a 3-bedroom apartment with 4 other people, paying $200 a month off of welfare that you don't even get, but you ready to go party at the biggest nightclub, or you ready to go Nobu, or you ready to go do this or do that.
Have the baddest bitches and the this and that and all.
And y'all ain't got nothing. Y'all ain't got nothing to show. Y'all don't even have a house. You don't even have a car. You still riding water. You still ride water. No disrespect to people who ride water, but or bus transportation. But if you're gonna be doing all that, you gotta take care of yourself first. Because if you don't, then you're not even gonna make it to a so-called date. You're not even gonna find nobody at all.
With that being said, y'all, we got one more question.
Okay.
Because I know, listen, this is that one of those topics. I know I can go all night talk about this, and I'm sure we'll talk about it even a little bit after. We got one more question, so let's go ahead and get it out the way. But if y'all are just pulling up, you're late. The show was supposed to be being over, but we are very passionate about what we're talking about tonight. But we just discussed a good communicator. What do you find it hard to talk about? How do you deal with issues when they arise? Do you think relationships with your parents affected how you are in romantic relationships? And is it hard for you to trust others? Many of us get scared when we get too close. The old baggage resurfaces again and we start making comparisons. We don't want to get hurt again. When we become unsure or we become afraid to make a commitment, so we put up walls and distance ourselves from love, making it virtually impossible to move forward. Don't get stuck in your own head. You may think you are protecting yourself from a major disaster, but in reality, you are just preventing yourself from reaching the place where you really want to be. If you're not open to love, you will never get there. Stay on track, move past. Because love can be a difficult road filled with obstacles, but the fact is we may just be responsible for some of those roadblocks. Like a good driver's ed refresher course, sometimes we need a little reminder to avoid the things that get in the way of our happiness. One of these obstacles is jealousy. So I'm going to ask, jealousy can arise in relationships due to past relationships or insecurity. Have you dealt with this and how did you go about it? Anybody can jump in. Anybody, no, not everybody speaking.
I'm gonna be honest. I'll be honest. I don't get jealous. That's for me personally. It's childish. I I don't really have anyone vice versa that happened to me in my relationships that I've had. Um, Judgment being passed or comparison, I definitely don't do that because for one thing, I learned this from my grandmother and my aunts that comparison is the killer of all joy, and we all know that quote. We know that. We heard that numerous times. I don't like to compare anyone to anyone else, and I pray that others don't compare me to anyone that they may have interacted with and no longer have relationships with. I would like to go in with a clean slate with anyone. So, that being said, yeah, the jealousy part, I really don't. I can't get jealous. That's just me. Like I said, I feel that's childish on my part. And if the other person gets jealous because of something that may have previously happened, or I brought something up, oh yeah, I took this person here, there, or whatever. You got something. You got your own issues to deal with that. You got to work that out on yourself because I can't help you with that. You need to go seek some counseling.
Or an exorcist.
I mean, me, like you said, not jealous at all. It was more the guy being jealous, the guy thinking, oh, you're going to go out, go see another guy, or you're talking to another guy. But it was him. He was the one talking to other females and seeing other females.
Yeah.
Hypocrite.
So on me, saying that I'm the one doing it, but it was Jesus.
Yeah.
Because I seen your messages. You're leaving at 7:00 in the morning for what? You're not going to work because you don't go into work until 9 in the morning, but you're leaving at 7:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, jealousy was the problem in my previous relationship. Definitely insecurity. You're probably gonna go cheat on me with this person. Oh, he's probably treating you better. It was just all negativity. I didn't like that. That's where I cut it off. You're assuming things I'm not doing when it's all in reality it's you. You're the problem. I'm not the problem. So I need to separate myself from that problem.
Like he was wilding out. It's great.
Well, when it comes to me, and when it comes to jealousy, like with relationships and stuff, I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't never jealous of nobody, but I'm possessive as a motherfucker. I'm possessive. I ain't gonna cry. I'm possessive. If you're mine, you're mine. Like, that's it. If you're mine, you're mine. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and worry about where your dang about to be, none of that, all that stuff. And if anything, like, I know that I'm possessive when it comes to relationships. Now, sometimes I think people like try to like interchange jealousy and possessiveness with stuff. I ain't jealous of no other female. If you feel like she doing what she doing, then by all means, go that way. You know what I mean? Like, let me get the one that wants to be here with me. You know what I mean? Type deal. Because if you don't want to be here with me, I want somebody that wants to be here with me. You know what I mean? And, but, when it comes to being jealous, the jealousy stuff, I don't get jealous of, like, girls, like, at my guy or nothing like that. Like, I was at them too, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I was at them too. Like, I'm gonna be at them at home. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, if anything like that type of stuff. But not necessarily jealousy, but I will say I'm possessive. I ain't gonna front. Like, yeah, that's mine. Like, what you mean? That's mine. So if I see him out and the girl trying to whatever, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you looked at that girl, she da-da-da-da. 9 times out of 10, because I'm a very blunt person, I probably like, damn, she was pretty as hell too. I think she looked at you. You know what I mean? Like, I'll mess with you to see where you at on it. You know what I mean? But be jealous? No, I'm not gonna like, that girl was looking at you. Bring your ass here right now. No,
And I think people
I
intermix those two, the jealousy and the
Yeah.
possessiveness, because it's not. I won't say like I'm being possessive, but when someone is yours, that's your relationship. Because I remember even on here, they tried to
no, I am
remember
being
when they tried to
possessive.
cancel me, saying I was a jealous female. I could tell I never kicked a female out. I never did none of that. Because I'm gonna be honest, if you could have them, honey, by all means, take them. Take my problem. But for
Take
me,
my problems.
if I start to even feel those feelings, like if I feel like I gotta start looking through your phone, if I feel all those, it's already over
Oh
for me.
no.
I'm already
Yeah.
leaving in my mind because now I already know what it is. If I have to feel something, that is my fight or flight instinct telling me you are doing something wrong. So if I start to feel those jealous feelings, or I start to feel those feelings starting to arise, you're already doing something that my body feels vibrations from, because we feel vibrations very much so.
Yeah, we feel it.
And
We
so
know
if I
it.
start to feel where something like that's going on, I'm already got my leg halfway out the door. I'm already halfway gone because I already know something's up. I don't even got to see it. I don't even got to ask. It's the putting your phone face down. It's the talking in the bath. It's you got to have your phone in the bathroom every time you in there. Like, yes, we know we use the phone in the bathroom, and your left leg and your left lip gonna go numb. We understand that happens, but when it's starting to be a little secretive, they like I know, especially I can tell you my last relationship when I knew something was going on. They never closed the door to the bathroom. Never. Like we were like gang, they're like already like husband and wife. So when the door started getting closed and the phone started getting like they were so worried about having their phone being talked or you looking over at their phone while they're on it. I already knew. I already knew what was up. So I already started leaving in my mind before I ever left. And then once I left, it was already shown to me. See, this is the thing. What's done in the dark will always come to the light, and that's the truth. It will always come to the light, even when you might not want it to. But anyways, y'all, they often say the biggest distance between two people is misunderstanding. You have to ask yourself, are you keeping you from love? Y'all, it's been a roller coaster, but it's been one of my favorites. So make sure y'all tap in and hit everyone here with a favorito, like a burrito, not now, but right now. But we always come to this place that I call healing. We end with a quote. So this week's quote is, finding love is a two-part process. The first part is to find the right person, and the second part is to be the right person. Mavis Leno.
I said take your time looking for that right person, or let it come to you. Don't look for it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not working out when you're looking for it, then let it come find you.
Mm-hmm. It's like the quote. It's like a butterfly. It will elude you. If you chase it, it'll elude you. If you sit quietly, it'll sit softly on your shoulder. You don't have to chase what's for you. What's meant for you will be meant for you, regardless of how bad you look for. And I can tell you, anytime I tried to, my mom always used to tell me, you always trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, because it wasn't meant for me. It wasn't meant for me.
I'll be honest, when we let go of like certain things, then you actually get a chance to really like build better relationships and friendships with people. There's people that I've, had, we tried relationships in the past, but it didn't work. But you still end up being able to, interact and deal with those people and be around those people in the future. And then, it's always a good refreshing thing for yourself as well too when you didn't force situations. Because a lot of times when you're younger, based off of hormones and all that other stuff too, we force a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Like we force. You know what I mean? It's like, so when you just let stuff flow and you let it go and like let it be, then in the future you'll get a chance to actually see like the beauty of what you didn't need to experience. Because now with different people that I've had like, relationships with that we're not together, but I see how stuff is. I'm glad I'm not whoever that is that they dealing with. I'm glad it ain't me. I'm glad it ain't me. Because man, like if I was like, especially that first long-term relationship that I stuck to, I'm so glad it's not me. I seen them now, and it's like, kind of like when you're younger, that little high school crush, and then you see them 30 years later, and it's like, did you even look like that when
Rob
we
Belly,
were
receding hairline, and probably got too many goddamn kids.
But it's the same with relationships. Like if you let stuff go and grow organically like it needs to, if it grows away from you and then you get a chance to go back and look at it, you can still see the beauty in not being a part of the mess of that situation. I'm so thankful that I've had bad experiences and good experiences to be able to help me differentiate the two. So now, like as I deal with people, I'm really cool. Like if I get to seeing stuff and it's like, you know what, I did really like that dude. But goddamn, he a motherfucking trip. I'm so glad I didn't end up being that girl. You know what I mean?
The greatest teacher. Experience is our greatest teacher. I even look at my like I was looking at because a memory had popped up, and I looked. I'm like, damn, he ain't in my type no more. He ain't in my type anymore. Like, what was I thinking? Because we look back, you know, when we are in love with somebody,
people in my past are never even my type.
You look at them through.
They never really was in the first place. Because when you were young, you really didn't know what your type was in the first place.
And then when you in love, you look at people through rose-colored glasses. You know, you start to look at them like, damn, like they're all this and perfect and this and that. But then now you look back because the glasses are off. You know, so you see them for who they truly are, and you're like, damn. So I'm dating some questionable creatures, my boy. Like, damn.
Not questionable creatures as well.
Oh yes.
I
especially look at my ex, and it's not even just a shot to them.
I say one of mine was a creature. One of them was a creature. She was a creature.
But you think about like maybe the things that like people maybe put you through, or think about like, you know, even maybe looks wise. Because I'm gonna tell you, like, my first ex is not my type anymore. They're not even close to my type. My last ex, not even close to my type, because I fell into that. You know, I love them for their personality because they were never my type to begin with. Not fit in the physical sense. I just one that falls for personality over.
And that's what I got over too.
Yeah, so now you look, and they look even worse than they did before, because at some point when you love someone, they become the most beautiful in your eyes. They become the best looking in your eyes because you love them. Yeah.
Because they weren't physically what I really wanted, and then I had to like make a situation, and then they do something stupid, and now I gotta look at your ugly ass, and you done did some ugly ass stuff. Nah, I'm good on that now. I'm 40. I'm about Rick. I ain't doing none of that no more. Baby, you better look the part, because if I get into it with you, you better look good afterwards. Because if you look crazy afterwards, on top of the fact that you just made yourself look ugly from the inside out, then I got to sit here and try to make up from the outside. No, we ain't doing that. I'm only going to deal with ones that I want to deal with. When we younger, people be like, you should go for the person with the best personality. No.
The best personality might be not me. That's got to be able to have something attractive about you. But of course, y'all, everything does have to come to an end. We are about 30 minutes late. But go ahead and give your outros, and then we can keep the conversation going. Of course, no holds bar. We can do the smoking and all the rest of the good stuff. So go ahead and give your outro, Miss Rebecca, and then okay, and then Green Eyes can give hers, and we'll go ahead. So go ahead and give your outros, and then we can at least stop the recording of the little bit that I got.
Cool. Well, listen, shout out to everybody in here. Thank you so much once again, Jen, for having me on. Shout out to DJ Slab Guy. Shout out to Green Eyes as well, too. I'm your girl, Really Rebecca. I host Secret Sweetheart every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as my Jen says. So, y'all be sure to come and check me out. You know, we got a lot of different stuff going on. Just come visit live.
You'll have to unmute her.
My nails be nailing. Oh my, okay.
I was gonna say I can't say anything.
I'm trying. My nails was nailing.
But no nail was laying away. Okay, so her name is Green Eyes. Like I said, I stream, late nights. If you don't see me live, you gotta catch me in Jen and Juice live, or Really Rebecca's live, because I'm always in there too. I like to sit in the back and watch. Be watching all the funny people talking, funny things they gotta say. But yeah. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course, anytime.
CJ, DJ, Slab God, y'all already know. Cut this short. I appreciate each and every one of y'all beautiful ladies. Continue to grow and glow and grow. all three. And yeah, we same time, maybe not next week here, but
Maybe.
we gonna work that out.
We'll get to how I feel tonight, Lord.
And I have a new show now that I'll go and support. Really, Rebecca, I'll fly over on the days that you shoot your show. So yeah.
Yes, definitely make sure y'all are checking out that For You section.
Oh, my
we have
bad.
the banners that go across. Make sure y'all, we all here with these feature shows and even the ones that are unfeatured, but especially the feature shows, we put a lot into these. So make sure y'all tap in and have a real respect for what we do because we put a lot of work and time into these shows. So make sure y'all check out all those bannered shows that are in the For You section, y'all. We actually just celebrated last week the 3-year anniversary of being featured, so make sure y'all tap in every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I'm the host of this show, but also I do have a game night coming on Tuesday and Sunday night, so make sure y'all tap in. It's nothing, not a featured. We're just here to have fun. Just I thought I'd bring a little fun for me and for y'all, so make sure y'all tap in. I will do prizes and such, and then I do have some more content coming at you when I actually feel like it. So yeah. Let's play a little Diddy No Diddy.
Not when you feel like it. She said hit him with a